Mexico City, home to over 21 million people, as many as 170 museums, some of the best street food in the world, and one of the cheapest metro systems on the planet. It's one of the largest and busiest cities in the world. Located in the Valley of Mexico at 2,240 meters above sea level, it is also the oldest capital city in the Americas, having originally been founded in 1325 by the indigenous people.
The city can be a daunting place to explore due to its size, reports of high levels of crime, and of course a language barrier. In these next few videos, we'll be exploring this vast city, from the historic center to Chapultepec Park and the floating gardens of Xochimilco, to try and show you the best that this incredible city has to offer and how best to stay safe during your visit. So, good morning everybody and welcome to Mexico City. After leaving Litla, we boarded a long 10-hour overnight bus all the way to Mexico City, and now we checked into our beautiful Airbnb where we're going to spend the next 2 weeks. We have a lot planned whilst we're here in Mexico City, and what better place to start our adventure today than the historic center. So let's go out and explore, shall we?
So we're on our way to the tube station now, and it's probably one of the best ways to get around here in Mexico City because there's like 12 lines linking all across the city, which is a lot better than the 3 lines that there were in Guadalajara. So it's a lot easier to get around, and it's also one of the cheapest fares that you're ever going to pay for a metro anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it only costs about 5 pesos for one ride, which is crazy. It's about 20p or something.
And you don't even have to pay when you transfer lines, so you can literally go the whole way across the city for that 5 pesos. There are over 21 million people in Mexico City, so unsurprisingly the tube can get a little bit busy, but if you avoid the peak times like 7 AM to 10 AM and 6 PM to 9 PM, then you should be okay. Also probably avoid coming later at night when it's a bit quieter, as obviously crime can be a little more prevalent then, but definitely a good way to get around in Mexico City.
After riding the tube as far as we could, we hopped on the metro bus, a newer, safer and faster bus system that took us right into the historic center. And to get a better sense of the scale of the city, we headed straight for the Torre Latinoamericana for some of the best views around.
The Latin America Tower was completed in 1956 and was the first skyscraper to be built in a high seismic risk area. Over the years, it has survived multiple large earthquakes, including an 8.1 magnitude, and is to this day considered one of the safest buildings in the world despite its location. For 170 pesos, you can go visit the viewing platform at the top for some amazing panoramas of Mexico City. So from up here you really get a sense of the scale of this city. From down on the ground you don't really appreciate how big it is.
As far as you can see, it's the city.
Yeah, you can't see anything but the city. You can really see the layer of smog here because the air quality here really isn't that good, and it's pretty apparent from up here as well. But no, definitely one of the best places to come if you really want to get a sense of the scale of this place. Now we're going to head down. We're going to go and try and find one of a chain of restaurants here in Mexico City that is very famous for their churros. And we've definitely worked up an appetite, so let's go and try and see if we can find some. But the name of the place was called El Morro, and it's really famous churreria here in Mexico City. There's loads of different ones across the city. Definitely make sure you try it with both the condensed milk dip and the chocolate dip, but they were delicious. Maybe a little bit sickly, but delicious.
We then headed to the Casa de los Azulejos, which has an incredible exterior design, and it's kind of like half department store and half restaurant on the inside. Make sure to head up to the second floor to check out the view from the balconies overlooking the street though.
So we're now here in the heart of Mexico City in the Plaza de la Constitucion, and from here you can see a lot of the iconic landmarks that Mexico City is best known for. You can see the impressive Metropolitan Cathedral at one end of the plaza and visit inside, although you aren't allowed to film or take photos in there, so you'll have to take our word for it that it is well worth checking out. The National Palace extends along another side of the square, and if you happen to visit at Christmas like we did, there'll be a massive Christmas market and fair in the center of the square.
A short distance from the square you will find the Templo Mayor. This temple would have been the largest in the ancient Mexican city, located at the ceremonial center of the capital, a place where sacred offerings would be made and religious ceremonies would have taken place. So we're just relaxing now and giving our feet a little bit of a break after all the walking here in the Alameda Park, which is actually Mexico City's oldest public park, and it's located just the opposite of the impressive Palacio de Bellas Artes.
Yeah, this building is really impressive to look at, and one of the most renowned opera houses in the world, actually being declared a World Heritage Site in 1987. And whilst the view is seriously impressive from here on the ground, we found an even better spot where you can get an amazing view of the building with a nice coffee and something to eat if you want.
It's like she stole my heart without knowing she did. But I guess that it will pass. Yeah, I can't be the only one who got lost inside the blue of those eyes. I've gotta let her go. I know it won't be easy.
So the cafe is called Finca Porfirio, and it's actually located in the shopping center just across from the palace, so you have to go through all the shops and then...
It's a lot of escalators.
Yes, it was actually quite cheap. I was surprised. I thought it would be a bit more expensive, so we got ourselves a few coffees and enjoyed the view.
We actually didn't get a table looking out over the palace to start with, but if you are quick and you get seated at a different table, you can quickly scoot over when somebody moves and take their spot, which
That's what we did.
Yeah.
But it was so much better from viewing it from the front bit, so make sure you get a seat there because you will have a better experience and your coffee will taste even better with a view like that.
Now we've got one last stop for the day. We're going to head through the Alameda Park and over to the Revolution Monument. The Revolution Monument is, not surprisingly, a monument to the Mexican Revolution, and also serves as a mausoleum for the heroes of that revolution. These days it is also a museum, cafe and viewpoint. You can take a cool glass elevator to the top of the monument for some amazing views of the city skyline. What a beautiful way to end our day today. We started at the top of one viewpoint and then we've ended with the sunset at the Revolution Monument.
Definitely recommend coming up here. The tickets are like 120 pesos each. Pretty good for what you get. Again, another 360 view over the city. Like, what more could you ask for?
No, it's beautiful. Had a long day, so we're going to head back to our apartment now.
It's nice to be back at our Airbnb after a long day of exploring the historic center of Mexico City. You could spend probably days just exploring the historic center, trying to visit everything, and you would still have things that you couldn't cross off your list.
So we're going to sign off for tonight, but we still have plenty more Mexico City to explore. See you there.